Going to cruise right along through step number 9. Go ahead and get out your rear units here. We're going to press some bearings in. Again, these are FastEddyBearings.com. You can get a full kit or individual bearings. Should push in, fit in there just like so. Got some fingernail scrapings on that bearing. That's how they fit in. There is a left and a right here, but we're not really going to pay attention to it. These are universal, and we'll pay attention to the left and the right once we start putting the rest of it together. Press that bearing in this one. Our drive cups are going to keep falling out. However, those do slide in just like so. You can always make sure your bearing is properly set in by putting this in and then pushing on it, and that's about what it should look like there. Then of course we have our dog bones, which fit in like so, so it matches the picture. However, the cups and the bones like to fall out and whatnot while we're building, so we're just going to set the bones to the side and we'll deal with the cups as we go along. So that is step number 9. Okay, on to step number something. What is it? Step number 10. We're going to start putting together the rear portion of the suspension. The arms, go ahead and trim all your stuff off of there. It doesn't matter which one is left, which one is right, until we assemble them. So let's go ahead and just grab one of those. We've gone ahead, just as we did on the front, and the hinge pin is going to be captured on the bottom. If you take a look at this, the bottom hole. So we went ahead and threaded in our set screw so it just touches, just as we did in the front. So that's an important step. Go ahead and pre-thread those and stick them right to the edge so we know exactly how to tighten them up. Alright, so we are going to build a left and a right. We're going to start here with this one, and it doesn't say whether it's a left or a right, but we'll find out real quickly and we'll show you how. Let's go ahead and place this just like it is in the manual. There's little thinner portions here, and you can see there's 2 holes on this side. We're going to place it with the 2 holes towards this side just like it is on the paper. We're going to grab one of the little shock holders, and let's take a look. And on the shock holder, one side has a portion that sticks out and the other side doesn't. So as we look at the manual here, we want to grab the one to stick in here where the little portion here is going to go to this side of the arm. So they are, instead of looking at part numbers this time, we're just doing it by picture. There are 2 different parts and they're opposite. This is going to slide down right inside of this area here. It's a little bit tough to get in. It's a nice hard press fit. So as you're looking at it, the 2 holes are here, 2 holes are here, and you can see in the directions that that little stick out portion is towards this side, like so. And we're going to put the screws in. We're going to build one. I'm not sure if it's a left or a right we're building, but then we're going to look at the picture and build the other one in the opposite direction. A long screw. Get that little sucker in there just till it touches. Go ahead and do the same here. Doesn't want to line up. Take a look in there and adjust it. And stick a smaller one in there just to align the hole. Get this one together. Okay. Give it a little pressure, get it started. There we are. Okay. Now that one's in, and take note that this portion right here with the tab is towards the two holes. And that's what it's showing in the directions. Okay, now we're going to take our hub, and it doesn't matter which one, they're both the same. We're going to set that down into this portion here, and you're going to see that there's quite a bit of room here. We're going to follow the directions, and there's two spacers here that you can see in the directions. And there are these two little units right here. So we're going to make sure that both of those are towards what is closest to us on this A-arm. So we're going to slide in the kingpin. We're going to put the kingpin, as you can see, through the lower hole. There's two holes. We're going to go through the lower one. Going to push it through. And now we're going to insert these two spacers. Push that through just a little bit too far. I'm going to push it back out a little bit. There we go. A little bit of a tight fit. And I want to put one of those spacers in, let it drop on. You can see how it dropped on there. Push that up a little bit, slide my second spacer in there. I'm not going to do this. Trying to let you see, it's going to be too difficult. Port position's too difficult for that one. Slide that in. There we go. Now it's important that the shaft here is exactly centered. So we're going to put our fingers on both sides. Make sure that there's none hanging out of either end. It's perfectly even in there. Then if you followed our directions earlier, you're going to tighten the set screw up 1/2 turn. Just like so. Going to make sure there's no binding. Okay, now that this one's done, we're going to again note our directions here. We're going to face this one, must be the left, because as we look at the directions, we can see that that little tab is facing in this way, and here's the little tab. So now we're going to grab our next one, and we're going to build it just the opposite. Okay? So we're going to take this unit and make sure the tab is pointing towards the inside. Put our screws in. The other thing that we're going to note is that when we put this on, that both of our washers that we put on here are in the same area. So they're going to be, as you put this on, they are going to be on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and build this one and come back and we'll compare and make sure that we've built a left and a right properly. Okay, I've got done building the second one off camera. Now let's take a look here. We're going to match these up to the directions. The left one is going to be this unit, and just for giggles I'm going to mark that with a left and this one with a right, just because that's the way I am. And as we look at it, we want to make sure that this little protrusion, this little tab, is pointing to the inside and is to the front of the A-arm, or to this side of the A-arm. I'm not really sure which is front or rear at this point. And also we want to make sure that this one is pointing to the inside. As we visit the hub, we want to make sure that the spacers are then to the opposite side of what the tabs are here. So both of your spacers go to the opposite side here. So now we have a left and a right. And we will go on to step number 11. Actually, before we do that, I did take out the hub and the dog bone, which we'll show you so that you know that they match up with the directions. There you go. That's how the finished product should look when you're done with that step. Again, we're going to take our bone out because they tend to fall out all over the place until you get to a spot where you can hold them in. Alright. We're now going to move on to step number 11. And again, this is a revised step. So make sure you use the pieces from your revised manual. Alright, moving on to step 11. We're going to show you the manual here, but of course, as we remember from before, step 11 is a revised step, so we're going to use the revised directions. So let's get out all of our pieces and parts, and we're going to build step 11.